Hello and welcome to Nerdarchy for Nerds by Nerds. I am Nerdarchist Ted, and tonight we're going to play some 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. This is my Balaria Under the Dome game, my first foray into a serious political intrigue game. So, if you want to jump down the description below, you can find a link to where you can find all of these amazing players when they're not over here gaming with us. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Last time, our illustrious adventurers found themselves in the Rusty Chalice. They had some conversations. They met an interesting fellow who worked in the Ironheart forges deep within the city. They challenged him to a arm wrestling contest. And then eventually, as the conversation ebbed and flowed, they decided to follow their drug-dealing Gilded Vein member, the Gilded Blossom member, and then got in through the back end of the Bloom, the Gilded Blossom's lair. And we'll take it right from that moment and repeat the description. The door hisses open and a wave of chemical heat hits you like a wall. The air here is thick, syrupy, a haze of metallic tang and sweet rot that coats the tongue. The chamber beyond thrums with a rhythmic machinery, the heartbeat of an unholy process. 5 enormous glass tanks dominate the room, rising from the floor like cathedral pillars. Inside each, a viscous green acid churns and bubbles, casting sickly light across the walls. Floating at the center of each of these tanks is an amorphous mass, pulsing faintly, alive in a way that defies comfort. Their shapes shift, sometimes humanoid, sometimes beastly, sometimes a little more than rippling silhouettes in the glow. From above, needle-like injectors descend in slow, precise intervals, piercing the fluid in a jab into the amorphous things. Each injection elicits a muted ripple, a shudder that travels through the tank into the pipes below. The fluids bleed down, merging through a tangled lattice of glass and copper tubes that converge in a central collection vat, a wide circular basin bubbling with strange iridescent brew. Its surface swells with a rainbow oil sheen, every color a dream and nightmare. The smell is intoxicating. Flowers and smoke, blood and honey, ozone and burnt sugar. The walls around the tanks are plastered with alchemical notes scribbled in 3 different hands. Some are written in a neat runic script, others in frenzied chaos, as if penned by someone in the throes of euphoria or withdrawal. Vials and syringes litter the workshops, still half filled with shimmering solutions. A single Balarium conduit snakes along the ceiling, pulsing in sync with the tanks, the faint hum almost musical. Every few seconds, the chamber sighs, a slow exhalation from the vents overhead. The glass ripples slightly, the acid sloshes, and one of the amorphous shapes lets out what might be a whisper, or might be just escaping gas. What do you do?
Well, first and foremost, before we entered, I turned to Kane. Yo, you need to hang out back here and guard our exit. I'll call you when we need you.
And he makes his way towards the back, turning his back to a lot of you.
I am like visibly shaking in this room, I think.
Okay.
And I immediately begin exploring. I feel like a kid in a candy store, and I need to know what all this stuff is.
Knowing
Absolutely.
that he's a kid in the candy store, I stay close to him since I hung out with him the longest, I think.
So as you step further into the room, you can hear the constant dripping sound, the bubbling from the tanks. As you kind of look around, there are tables, workbenches of things going on. The lighting is, green and violet. Coming from the vats, they seem to give off, almost a light to themselves. It's hot and humid in here. You definitely can feel it on you. But as you step across the room, like the stone floor, it's almost slick with a thin film of residue.
So as I look like I'm ready to just bolt into the room, I kind of stop mid-step and I cock my head like I'm listening to something. And,
Okay.
And he's still like almost vibrating and shaking. Okay. All right. And I guess I'm going to use investigation to see if I can detect any traps. Or I want to
Give me a
try
roll.
and see if there's any traps. Okay.
All right.
Ooh, that's a 14.
With a 14, you're confident that there are no traps within the room itself.
Perfect.
You did encounter a number of traps, and we kind of glossed over them to get to this point. But through the hallways that you guys had traveled to get here, there were probably about half a dozen traps that you guys were able to bypass. We played through one of them and just kind of used that to kind of get us to this interesting stopping point.
So with that, I want to start gathering up all like the vials, the things, the needles, the syringes, all that stuff.
All right, so there is a number of vials, jars. There is a small chest. There is what appears to be like 5 like large sections of crystals. There's a number of like scrawled notes on like loose pages, the things that are hanging up, as well as on the benches, as well as a single like dark red leather book that's like pushed off to the side.
Oh yeah, grabbing the notes, stuffing them in my pouches.
Has anybody else come into the room?
Want to take a look at that book?
Yeah, I was staying close to Buzz since I know he likes to get a buzz, and this seems like a room to do that.
And also, like, as I'm like going for the book, then all of a sudden, like, I kind of stiffen, and I cast Detect Magic.
So the tanks themselves are giving off a glow. None of the items that you've picked up in the room offer any kind of magical glow to it. But you knowing from your exploration within Crystalia, drugs don't usually have a magical aura to them. Them being alchemical, not magical in nature.
Yeah, I'm also
fairly
trained.
Right?
I'm trained in alchemist supplies and arcana, if it matters.
Then you know that most of what you have here, there are like 2 to 3 sets, like probably 2.5 sets of alchemical supplies, like things that you could use to make other things. You have several jars, vials that have a number of drugs in them. You'd have to spend some time with it to properly identify what each is. But no actual glowing.
Cool. Pick up the book. Put it with my stuff.
You look at the tanks, the blobs, the amorphous blobs in the center, like they begin moving towards the front of the glass, and you can begin to see a face protrude again. And they seem to be trying to look in the general direction of whoever is in the room, trying to ascertain who it is, see what's going on. Maybe you're not quite sure.
Definitely like, I don't know. I don't know how well that. Anybody else know anything? Because I'll keep going. I will do it.
Doris is... Oh, you go ahead.
Oh, no. I'm just surprised. What?
Doris enters the room and approaches the glass tube, and she just lays a hand on it.
So as you put your fingers out from the blob, at first it just stretches a pseudopod forward through the acidic liquid, and as it makes contact with the glass where your hand is, it stretches out and emulates a hand mirroring you exactly.
What are you? Do I know what this is, Ted, or do I have any semblance of an idea? Like, I'm talking not even like the specific thing. I'm talking like creature type. Is this an ooze? Is this a plant? Is this an humanoid? What is this?
Are you proficient in Arcana?
I doubt it, but I will look. I am not proficient in Arcana. Or nature, for that matter.
No nature?
No nature. I have survival.
Give me an intelligence check, DC 10.
Okay.
However high you roll.
11? I just barely got it.
11? Okay, so...
Yep, plus 0.
It's clearly an ooze of some kind.
Okay.
But, like, the longer you sit there and look at it, the more detail that seems to come out. Are you proficient in insight?
I am not. I don't believe. Nope, I'm not. I'm just naturally wise.
You're just naturally wise. All right.
Yeah.
Give me an insight check.
Okay. 6.
6. So, like, you're having a hard time, figuring out what this thing is doing. The cycle continues every so often. This needle comes down from above, injecting something into this blob. It shudders. But as you continue to look, you see every so often, like, bits and pieces of this blob seem to, like, fall away and get sucked down into the tube below it, where it's getting, like, connecting with the other tubes, and then heading towards that more central vat. The process, keeps at it, and every time the injection happens, there's that ever little bit of a shudder from each of the blobs.
Damn mages. This is what happens when you let wizards run amok.
So, what kind of magic was emanating from the tubes?
There is from the tubes, there is a bit of conjuration and transformation.
Oh. Did you say you think they're oozes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, I don't know, Granny Goodness, if they started out as oozes or not, but there's definitely transformation magic going on here. A little bit of conjuration too.
That was one of the things I was wondering. It mimics faces and hands. Rill, what do you make of this?
I think that there are a lot of really fucked up rituals someone can do to make a being do a thing like that. It's got precedence, that's all I'm saying.
So it took Buzz several minutes to, like, go around the room looking for traps, collecting all of these notes, all of these jars, and all of these things. There was all this time that Doris is sitting there, kind of looking at this one of 5 glass enclosures, if you will. What are the other two of you guys doing as this winds up happening? Are you just watching? Are you keeping a lookout? Are you doing something else in the room?
I'll keep a lookout to make sure, like, you know, we don't become interrupted.
So far, you guys haven't made, a lot of noise, and it has not drawn any unwanted attention at the moment. How about you, Robin? What were you doing?
Just leaning into some of the little tubes and like making faces at the faces.
So are you attempting to elicit a reaction, or
No,
are
I'm
you just kind of...
I'm not trying to get one. I'm just checking to see if there is one.
Oh, there absolutely is. Are you trained in insight?
Yes.
No roll necessary. It is clear through the process. If you watch several cycles, it appears that parts of these oozes, these blobs, are being like dissolved by the acid, and then when they're injected with some kind of healing serum. So it is a pain and a healing process. So whatever it is that they're being kept alive to be taken apart and mixed into whatever it is that is being made in the center of this chamber.
I'm going to explain that immediately and suggest we stop this from happening further.
Is there an apparent off switch?
Nothing appears obviously to be an off switch.
Okay. What's around?
I mean, there's the tables. There's everything you brought within it. All of the notes and vials and jars and what have you have already been, picked up by the Warforged.
Is there like a pipe or a rod or crowbar or something?
Give me a perception or investigation check. Let's see if you can find something.
12. I'm not rolling well today.
12. I mean, you can find a rock.
Okay. I throw a rock at one of the tubes.
Trying to break one of the glass cylinders.
Yes.
All right, give me athletics or just straight up strength.
Okay. Well, that is not great. So, I got a 2 base. Athletics is +0. So 2.
So, it bounces harmlessly off the glass. This is, obviously made of sterner stuff than, wet paper.
She curses.
Are you sure you should do that?
It doesn't matter if I should. Mercy and decency say that these creatures don't deserve what Will just described.
Well,
Will you put them out of their misery?
I want to free them.
I have a crowbar on me. Noticing that a rock, bing, 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 bing.
Does any of us have knowledge nature?
I'm half trained in everything.
She puts a hand on the glass tube again. Do you speak?
The process repeats itself. The hand coming out, the face looking at you, and it shakes its head yes.
They're aware. They deserve freedom.
Well, the question is, what will they do with that freedom?
It doesn't matter. That's
It
theirs
really
to
doesn't
decide.
matter.
It might matter a little bit. We're in the room with them, and maybe some bad things have happened, but they might be a little crazy because of the things that have happened.
If that were you, what would you want?
Well, it depends. What's my mental state? Am I in control of my faculties? What am I going to do once I'm freed? I mean, listen, I've been on some
So,
pretty
is there
bad
anything
benders.
that I can just pick up and break this glass with?
That's what I've been looking for. Is in my
So
stuff.
unless you have something specifically on you, the only thing in the room that looked to be worthwhile was the one rock that Doris had picked up and failed to break with. But
Listen, I
Hannibal
can
did say that he's got a crowbar.
I can try a thing that's less obtrusive.
I mean, I could comprehend languages if it speaks. If it's just like, if it has a language.
It clearly understood what Doris was saying because it shook its head yes when he asked a question. Or she asked a question.
Do you speak common? I was like, let's ask it.
So
Is there
It shakes
multiple
its head yes.
creatures? Multiple creatures, or just one in the tube?
There's 5 different glass, large glass cylinders, and if you go up to each of them, it's a similar process. A humanoid face and hand, will appear.
I let Raul borrow my crowbar because I know they really want to do the things, but before you go swingies,
Let's take a look in that chest first.
yeah, I'm just gonna ascertain the state of this creature. Like, hey, are you okay? What's going on? Like, how do you get here? Let's start there.
Well, it being confined in the tank, they appear to not have the ability to verbalize.
and Rill told us what was going on, so we know what's happening to them.
Well,
They're basically being digested and then healed from being digested.
yeah. Well, you got my crowbar, Raul, so by all means.
Doris looks to Rill to see what he does with it. If he doesn't do anything, I'm going to take that rock and try again.
I mean, I'm gonna help.
Okay, can I assist Rill?
Sure.
Okay.
Maybe the other
so,
way around. I can't easily reach my dice right now.
Oh,
Like,
okay, sure.
So if you have the crowbar, it gives you advantage on strength checks using it.
Cool,
to
because
pry
I have
things open.
0 strength.
Yeah, just to pry things open and whatnot.
So who has the best strength modifier on the party? Besides Kane, who is a little unnerved and not wanting to walk into the room.
I'm a bard.
Rill is a rogue, right?
I
So,
got a,
I'm a rogue that dumped strength.
I
okay.
got a 10.
So we have the same. So, okay, I'm going to smash the
well-
thing with the crowbar.
I'm gonna alleviate the issue here. Crowbar versus glass. Crowbar's gonna win. I don't care how long this process takes.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop this. Crazy potential dice fail. And continue.
I'm so sorry!
Yeah, while he winds up the swing, I back away to the other side of the room.
All right. So whoever decides, somebody bashes in the glass, and quickly realizing that it has already been determined that this is an acrid scent in the room. Glass break, quick back stuff. Acid, goes all over the floor. There's hissing and popping as the acid moves across the stone, sloshing up against the table, sloshing up against this large central vat. The amorphous form slides out into the chamber. It pulses and writhes for just a moment before a pseudopod kind of stretches out, and slowly the pseudopod grows a number of fingers, and the now arm forms itself. You can see the crux of an elbow, the blob starting to form a little bit of a shoulder, and it begins to push up off the ground. Similar process as a second limb reaches out to the other side, repeating the process, growing all the way up and having a shoulder. It pulls at the blob, and a very generic head lifts itself up off the ground as it slowly, painfully pulls itself up. It's starting to grow legs, knees form as it pulls itself onto now, 2 knees and two hands. You can see the torso that now like solidifies as it's taking in breath. Clearly, labored breathing, as if the process of just creating this form was a lot. It stands up, turning and looking at the lot of you. There's definitely hesitance, as it kind of like realizes that it's still in this room that was tormenting. It's still surrounded by people, but it acknowledges, you setting it free. It turns, and again, the face that looks in your direction, it doesn't have the full, like, distinct features. It looks like as if an artist hasn't finished the sculpture yet. But they turn, they look at you. Thank you for setting me free. The words come out fairly breathy, for something that was clearly, stuck in liquid for who knows how long. And then before, it can do or say, anything else, it kind of like looks back to the other 4 chambers. Will you set them free as well?
Yes.
So we have a rinse and repeat, 4 more times. Each time the blob that comes out is just a slightly different color. Shades of blue, shades of green between them. The forms that they take seem at first, just as their face is lacking a lot of distinct detail. There's no hair, there's no eye color. It clearly has a distinctive face, but they clearly seem to know each other. They clearly are, seeming distraught by being in this place. There is, a moment, if you guys allow it, where, as each gets freed, that they share, some kind of embrace. But eventually, the 5 of them are set free. Clearly injured by the way they're moving around. Process has taken quite a bit out of them, probably, not only mentally but physically, for sure.
I would like to I undo my cowled cloak, and I also take off this sort of pseudo skirt that I wear over my pants, and I start ripping them up and handing them out so that they can have some modicum of clothing.
So one of them sees you starting to take off your cloak. That's not exactly necessary. It's not something that our kind really care about.
Oh, all right.
Do you think they think you're making a pass at them?
I doubt it.
What was that?
I asked Granny Goodness if she thought they thought that she was making a pass at them.
I doubt it. But what do you need? How can we help you? If you simply want to know the exit, we have 2 friends just past that doorway, and they can lead you to safety.
Yes, out of this place. What they were doing was... It's hard to even describe.
You don't need to.
So did they turn you into oozes? Or were you oozes and they've been doing other
Oh,
stuff?
no, this is... there's almost like a hint of a smile. The one who, is kind of the first one that's out, the one that's, doing the most of the speaking. Like, no, this is our natural form. We came here from different land. The term breaker was used quite often. We actually used to travel beyond the stars, as they say.
Do we see any evidence of any of the drugs that we were looking for in here?
Yeah, Buzz has collected it all.
Okay. So we know this is the place then. I just wanted to make sure. So
100%.
at this point, we should probably all take our leave before less savory people come and try to do something equally horrid to any of us.
Yeah, I'm gonna go check out that chest.
So you open up the chest. It wasn't locked or anything. Inside are like 4 like lumps of crystal. They're like a bluish green. Yeah, have you ever seen like those jagged clusters that it looks like that, all spiky but very, very crystalline.
Have I seen anything like this before?
I mean, you've seen quite a bit of different style of drugs, but you've never seen anything that is like a crystal like this. But you surmise everything here is drug related in some way, shape, or form. So either this is an ingredient, or this is something that is in process.
Well, I will just. How big is the chest?
It's a small chest, so like you're talking, maybe 6 by 8 by 6.
Yeah, I'll grab that. Further research later.
Sure.
And that's all is in here. This room.
Yes. You guys came through like a hidden passageway. There are like 2 other doors out of here. But like you can hear like faint music. Now that you guys have shut down the burbling sounds from in here, you can hear that there is music coming from further in. So whatever.
When you say 2 doors, you mean the door we came in and another door?
2 other doorways.
Okay.
So yeah, because the wall literally kind of opened up to allow you guys in.
I will go to the door on the right and listen.
That is the chamber through which you can hear music, obviously coming from a decent bit away.
Is it any good?
So I would say that it would be this world's equivalent to club music. it's got a it's purely instrumental, and it has a good rhythm to dance to. So if Buzz likes that, then yes, it's good.
Yeah, he starts dancing a little bit,
You're doing the robot because you're a warforged, like.
but very badly because I dumped charisma. Well, you know. All right, go to the other door and listen at that one. What's going on over there?
So at that one, gotta give me a perception check.
All right, perception. That's a thing I can do. Ooh, how about a dirty 20?
So you hear noises that as best you could say, like there's some kind of animal noises, but you can't completely tell what it is.
All right, so behind door number 1, my friends, we've got sweet beats. Behind door number 2, we might have a sweet beast or not so sweet, depending on his disposition, or hers, or theirs.
And behind door number 3 is the exit, because we found what we came for, and we can just leave and report to Riven Soltor right now.
I think that's a stable idea.
Buzz, why do you look like that?
I'm trying to figure out if we should get more information first, or if this is the completion of the task assigned.
No one asked for an overachiever.
All right, let's take the goo guys and get out of here, or gals. You guys have names?
Real.
The goo people. I think that
Oh.
was asking.
But we could
He's
introduce ourselves, yes.
He knows his party members, right?
Yeah, some days maybe. A little.
So the one that you've been speaking to, he's like, well, I'm L'Oreal. This is Merrick's. This is Silva. That's Corin Vale, and this is Thriel.
I'm Doris.
Can we get those in chat?
Totally. So you guys begin making your way out the way you came in, bypassing the traps as you had done so on the way forward. And eventually, the subterranean world begins to disappear as you begin making your way, up the rocky steps back up into the domed world of Balaria. So what will you do with us now?
I mean, you can go
What do you
do
want?
whatever you want to do. You're free.
What were you doing before your captivity?
We had been thrust into this world. Our vessel encountered some anomaly. A storm tore the helm right out of the ship, split it apart. The next thing I know, the 5 of us were lying in this, black sands. Some people came and said something about, new breakers, and kind of took us in, showed us around. all of this seemed, rather alien to us. We had traveled through various worlds, but nothing quite so brutal as what we encountered here. And we met some interesting folks. Over several days, they seemed to be more and more intrigued by our unique physiology. They said their mother would be very much interested in meeting us. They lavished us with praise, provided a place to stay, provided us with meals. It all seemed too good to be true in this world that everything else seemed far too brutal, but we were swept away.
Would you... Oh, I'm sorry. Keep continuing.
They led us to a woman who looked nothing like like their mother, warped and twisted. She looked as if she were a hybrid of many races. Couldn't quite pin it down. Always seemed to be, no matter which way she looked, it always seemed like her gaze was on us. And when we had done, answered all of her questions, they invited us to stay. We eventually, bedded down. And when we awoke, all of our things were gone. We were thrust into those vats as they continually took us apart and kept us together. I could not tell you how long it's been.
Would you physically describe this person as best you
Their
can?
mother?
Yeah. Before you go, my intent with this question is if they can describe this person as best they can, it's good enough. I'm gonna disguise myself based off their description to see if that's a hit list or not, so we can put a name basis.
So they give a description, like almost like a dark purple skin, long pointy ears, long hair, a ridge of horns across the forehead, pointy teeth, like almost to the point of like not quite vampire, but almost. Taller than an elf, but not super tall, lithe, but not not like super thin. There's a number of things that kind of like speak to different races or none. So like you get your closest approximation, and then they kind of like coax you as to how she held herself, and it's close, but there is like they tell you they can't pinpoint it, but there's something missing.
Of course,
at a casual glance you can pass, but any serious scrutiny, and they tell you it's certainly not going to fly.
So I turn to the group, and like keep an eye out for this sort of phase or someone that matches this particular description, as I'm like presenting myself as this goofball who wants to do these things to the oozes.
What does
the
Hannibal
last
look like?
The last of them, Thriel, speaks up, and the voice comes out as timid. They their mannerisms have kind of definitely kept them towards the back of this group. They're like, they said one of them once referred to her as the Thorn Mother.
Oh, I'm putting that on my alter ego nonsense. Like literally just I'm making a list of my alter egos, so I'm putting
Sure.
Thorn Mother down there. Okay.
What does Hannibal look like to us when mimicking this? Is there a specific species, or like does he maybe look like someone famous that we would know?
I'll describe again. It doesn't look like any one race.
Does it look like a
is
humanoid?
It's definitely humanoid, yes.
Okay.
But there's almost like an amalgamation of things. Like a dark purpling skin, long, like aggressively long ears, like beyond your typical elf. Eyes that are unsettling, but for whatever reason, Hannibal is not able to replicate that the way the creatures described it. There's like a ridge of horns across the hairline. Long flowing multicolored hair. Not quite vampire fangs, but definitely enlarged canines.
Okay.
It's definitely a visage that, like, this is gonna stand out wherever you are.
Okay. So, I guess I look to the party and say, do we want to contact Lord Sotor now or on the morrow? You're muted, Dave.
Story of my life. If these folks are willing, he might want to interview them.
He's not gonna do what the others did, right?
No, definitely not. No idea. I turned to the rest of the people behind. I don't think so. I mean, he hired us. He paid us.
He's a man of law.
He
I am
bowed us
standing
out of
here with
prison like you.
absolute blank face on, but like internally ready to throw hands if he tries it. So I'm just like standing behind and nodding.
So you know that what you know of the Archmage is, if it's something that someone else has exploited, he would want to know at bare minimum, like, to what end and what kind of profitability is it. He would not care as much about the humane angle as clearly these folk are, but he wouldn't immediately do it. Like his level of profit and control does not tantamount to say, oh yeah, absolutely, let's capture these guys and repeat the process. It would be a decision factor.
He likes information, and you probably have some. Maybe he can give you guys a head start, to get back on your feet.
I don't know who this Soltor is. If they're powerful and willing to come here, we'll answer anything. But I'd rather not be led into any other complex. We've already lost everything and nearly lost our lives. I'd hate to.
You don't want to stay here where the canisters that you were imprisoned are, do you?
Speaking of which, I do drop the disguise self, because I doubt that image is going to be pleasant. It's just something to drop it as well.
Sure. Well, I don't know whether like I don't know if this is happening like in a building or on the city streets. Like they clearly are like, no, we're definitely gonna have to find somewhere like on the other side of the city at bare minimum to like try and start over. But like they don't even have the clothes on their backs.
That was my point. They don't have resources. Talk to Cuddy. Maybe Cuddy will give you some resources.
Or we could let them just leave, because they've been through a lot.
They have no resources. They have no money. They have no grind. They have no tools. They have no equipment. They have no means.
I give each of them 10 gold. I have 29 gold left. And
Correct it. They have means.
it's not much, but it will get you started. Yeah, on whatever life you can find here. Until you get somewhere you want to be. No strings attached. No requirements.
It's very generous. Is there somewhere that we might be able to get in contact with you?
For the time being, I have decided to stay at... I can't remember the name of the inn because it's been...
The Rusted Chalice?
Yes. The Rusted Chalice.
We will... Lariel says, like, I will look for you there.
You don't have to.
In the future.
If you want to leave and never look back, no one will blame you. Least of all me.
So, it's through the walk, out of the the underground passageways and through all of this conversation. It's now like about an hour after they've come out of the vat, and you really hadn't picked up on it, because a gradual shifting is a lot harder to pick up on. But as like they're getting ready to say goodbye, you realize like each of them, as opposed to like a completely amorphous humanoid that's like, oh well, that's clearly like where a mouth would be and a nose would be, and those are where like eye sockets would be. Each one is taking on a more distinct appearance, and even like filling out or slimming down to like assigning almost gender roles, or gender physique. So like it's clear that they have the capacity to get there, but their ability to shape themselves has kind of been affected by their time in those tanks. But Lariel gives a bow, clutching, like they don't have heck, even a pouch to put the coins in, so each of them is holding the 10 gold in their hand, as the five of them kind of nod, bow, offer a final thanks as they begin making their way away from this place.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess we'll use the method we were given to contact the Archwoods.
Made a cry?
So one of you was given a sending stone.
Yep.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't think so.
It was either Buzz or Doris. I can't remember.
I can
Well,
say.
Don't you have like a purse?
Well,
Oh yeah, the bag of holding. It was in there. So yeah, I'll pull it out. And do one of you wish to do the honors? I'm not exactly. We'll say I'm not very diplomatic.
well, more than happy to oblige.
She'll hand you the sending stone.
Hello. This wouldn't so happen to be Riven, the Riven Soltar.
Do you have any idea how sending stones work?
Yeah.
So you would know, like, this is a direct connection to the one that he has on him. So, like, to ask the question of, like, hey, is this the person to which I am calling? Like,
And I asked him, do you confirm?
yes, this is Riven Soltor. Why are you wasting my time?
Because secrecy is of the utmost pertinence and we want to verify. Anyway, sir, we've accomplished the mission.
You can tell me how to get in.
I'm sorry, can you please repeat? I didn't hear that, Ted.
Can you tell me how to get in?
Absolutely. We have the area secure and traps noted.
I will send a trusted agent. Where should I have them meet you?
You know that old tree few miles south? Right next to the giant rock that looks almost like a finger?
Yes.
That's where you want to meet us eventually.
The agent will appear there within 30 minutes.
30 minutes? We just got... Oh, go ahead, sir.
The confirmation password will be Sleepless Night.
Alright. Well,
They will write down the directions and bring them to me.
great.
30 minutes. Don't be late.
Guys, I gotta go. Well, you come with me, of course. As I explained, gotta do an info drop.
How far away is this place that he arranged us to be in walking time?
You tell me, Carlos. Was it close, or do you guys have to hustle?
We gotta go, guys.
Okay.
So, we hustle it. We get there.
All right,
just
so,
in time.
Since you're hustling, why don't you guys, give me a Constitution check.
Okay.
Let's see how winded are you when you get there.
Does it matter that I have a faster speed and capability to do stuff like that? Like dash, step of the wind, whatever.
As a monk?
Yeah.
I'll give you advantage. On the
Hey, that first roll was probably my advantage. Yes, it was.
I don't know if it's good or not, but I got a 12.
So 16.
You say con check or save?
check. We rarely roll con checks. I figured this would be a fun time to do so.
Yes. So I got a 15.
We got a 12, we got a 15,
16.
16.
Shouldn't Hannibal be really good at con checks, given that he's a bard?
What did you get, Rill?
12.
12. All right. So nobody gets left behind. Nobody gets exhausted. But a couple of you are certainly labored breathing as you arrive at this rock formation that Hannibal had pointed out. As you arrive, a figure dressed in red and black seems to like melt out of the tree, looks at the four of you, gives a nod in turn. Well, I guess to the six of you. We're assuming everybody's there. And
They're guarding Granny Goodness's room.
I take it you have the information I seek.
Woo! Yeah, we do. As I give the password and I explain the details of the map location.
This person gives you the password to confirm that it's the right person.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry. I thought I had to remember it.
No. You spoke to him directly, so therefore this person has to give you the password to ensure that you are giving the information to his actual agent.
Before we begin, password.
So, he says, that I need to gather the information so that I do not have a sleepless night.
Okay. Well then, let me not dilly-dally, and I
You
give
guys
him
make
detail.
mention of where the passage is, where the twists and the turns are, the different traps that you guys had to bypass, and where the the hidden switch is.
Actually, I could do one tiddlywink better if he likes. I can use my cantrip minor illusion and create almost like a small 5-dimensional thingamajigger. Like, here you go, man. This is what it looks like as I'm minor illusioning the ways.
So the requested mission was to give them access to the back door of this location. Do you give them anything else?
Nay. That's for them to find out. It was like that way when we found it, so...
Right.
I just tell them...
So on the way over here, did we decide that we were collectively decide that we're not going to tell them about the goo guys?
We haven't decided that, but just as a way of err on the side of caution, I'm just gonna tell this dude that, we found it this way. So, he can make of that whatever he wishes.
Okay. This person doesn't seem to have any kind of opinion. He is here to collect information, and he is just taking the meticulous notes on everything that you are saying. So when you're like, oh, when you open the door, we found it that way. He's like, okay. Like there does not seem to be any emotion coming through.
As I see him scribing down, I'm like, yo, you gotta use can't speak, man. What if this would be intercepted? Come on.
No one is going to intercept this.
Let's hope not.
We fulfilled the mission. We got there, we got in, and we got out. That's not to say there aren't more places in. Sorry, I have a sneeze that tried to come.
Again, I do not have the particulars of what you were told to do. I was told to collect the information that you had told him to get.
Well then, suffice it to say, consider it a little bonus that there is more than what we've told you we got to. It goes deeper.
They evidently got great jams down there, but...
That is to be expected. It was not to be a singular room, but merely the way into the back, where they would be unsuspecting.
When I say that to him, they have great jams down there or whatever, I mean that quite literally in double speak in case I'm questioned later about, like, if there were ooze people, yeah, there were big jams down there, goose folk. Or if he talks about the music, I'd be like, just the bumping beats, man. What do you want me to do? Cover my bases in case I'm questioned later.
If the guy picks up on what you're talking about, there is not a moment that it registers on his face.
All right, well, we gotta
It's
go.
as if it's as if this person doesn't really have a personality.
Well, you enjoy that map and all that information.
He finishes writing down everything that you have to say. He rolls the scroll up. It goes into a belt pouch that clearly is too small to hold such a parchment, and then he gives a brief nod again to each of you. There's just a moment. There is just like an extra bit of eye contact, but then he steps off out of this area and into the shadows in between the buildings, and is gone.
So what do we do now, right? Like, he only gave us the one job.
Well, I'm assuming the sending stone works two ways. We can.
He did say like this was the start.
Mm-hmm.
So do we just go back to the Rusty Chouse and hang out, or what do you guys want to do?
I don't see why not. We could also explore the town a little bit. I don't know about the rest of you, but I just blew in. Quite literally, actually.
Well, I rode my bike here, but I kind of got wasted on the way in. That aside, it just did not do well in the sand. But that aside, are we supposed to get paid?
Probably after he verifies the information.
Yeah. And so far, even though how unjustified all the arrests were, we do still have our freedom. I consider that worth something.
Agreed.
That's true. I want to go back to the Rusty Chouse and see if my new buddies over there.
All right. I'm perfectly okay with that. I have not more to do at the moment.
So I am looking for Vester.
So, honestly, it has only been a handful of hours since you have left the Rusty Chalice to go do your mission. So at this point in time, Vester has departed and is not currently there.
Man, I got a little stream leech.
Well, even though you may not have leash to share, I grab a round for us. The good stuff. We're doing something good. How much is that for the group?
I mean, it depends upon how good you're talking about.
I think we did a good thing.
Like, like you can have a good drink for like a couple of silver. You can have a good drink for like a gold apiece. Or if you want really good, you can, spend, times that by 10, times that by 10. There's all kinds of levels here.
He wants the platinum shot for everyone.
What a Bob a Robert? No.
So, I
Just
mean,
two-
like, if you,
two
the
gold
coil
each.
breaker was fairly popular, and that was a gold apiece.
2 gold each. Yeah. Let's do that.
I mean, if you guys want to see stuff, I hold up 4 vials of the Dream Leech.
I don't need substances to see the beauty in things.
All right, man. Sometimes you just need that third eye open.
All right, so you're gonna examine the stuff that you have, Dave?
Yeah, I guess if Dorothy has
Doris?
Doris, I'm sorry, that was a different game, different character. Doris, may I use your room to examine this stuff?
Yes. And she'll hand you the key. Just, if you intend to throw up, do it in the basin.
I cock my head, and I really can't make much of it. I don't have much facial expressions because my face is metal. And like, you just get the vibe that I'm just giving you a weird look. Throw up.
All right.
I don't
So
even
you're gonna
eat.
make a number. You're gonna make a number of checks for me, Dave.
Alright. Is one of them to throw up?
So like before
Yeah. I mean, unless you start taking stuff.
before the checks happen, I think it'd be funny if like he opened the door, the oozes are there, like, hey, you said we could chill, right?
That'd be creepy.
All right. So you've got 3 vials of a shimmering silver liquid. Go ahead and give me an alchemic check.
Alright.
I would say probably these are going to be all intelligence.
Okay. A 24.
All right. So this is a Balarium distillate.
Balaria distillate. I knew it. I knew it all along. Alright. Wait a minute. That's. What is that? Okay, gotcha.
So there was the 4 crystals that are inside the chest. You've got a time to examine it, proper and not, under duress. Go ahead and give me another alchemy check.
With crystals. You know what? I'm going to cast a spell first.
Okay.
I probably would have just did it anyway, because I'm actually like doing some research and stuff here.
All right.
I'm going to cast. Oh no, I'm not. I don't have that spell. Oh yeah, I do. Enhance ability,
Ah, nice. That's what I thought you were going to do.
intelligence. All right, that's
Oh, of course.
all right. So the next roll is a 23.
And so
And you'd already said none of this stuff had radiating magic.
correct. And there are 3 vials that were clustered together. They look like floating in like a viscous water is what looks to be an element of the same amorphous blob,
Uh-huh.
or at least the amorphous blob that matches some of the colors of the ooze people that went away. There's three of them that are all clustered together.
So I put away the Balaria distillate, the 3 vials. And I'm like, I bet I could do something with this. And I take the refined
Gleam smoke.
crystals, which I could crush these up and make it into powder. What is crushed gleam smoke? Was that one of the drugs?
Yes.
That's what okay. I could crush this up for later. And I guess so now I'm going to examine those vials.
All right. Alchemy.
That's a 21.
21. So you find that these are symbiotes. These have been literally infused with chemicals. They are literally ripped agents from the ooze creatures. So there's enough biology, and then infused with an alchemical process that they now have a life of their own and are something else.
I may have to confer with the collective on this one. I want to open up those vials of symbiotes. I guess I'll do it one at a time though.
What are you doing?
I am going to cast detect thoughts and then start opening vials for the symbiotes.
Okay.
Scanning for their surface thoughts, if they have any.
So the first one, I guess, well, first off, before you cast detect thoughts, because I think that one is concentration. Do you want to examine everything else before you end your concentration on the other one?
Yeah, that would probably be a good idea.
So there are 5 crystalline structures.
All right. Only a 12.
Only a 12?
Yes.
Yeah, you're not quite sure what those are.
You know what? I want to use my inspiration.
All right, go ahead and reroll.
Why not? That's better. That's a dirty 20.
30-20. So these are actually harvested organs from the ooze creatures.
I don't think I should tell the other guys about this. They're gonna freak out. I don't think I blame them. This is some really weird stuff that's going on here.
So they're usable for either like some kind of ooze research or arcane rituals.
Okay.
Significant value.
Was that the last thing?
Yes, that was it for the actual alchemical stuff. There is
There's the
oh
book
nope.
and notes.
There is one. There's one other. There's one other vial that has a shimmering liquid in it. It's almost like silver with veins of purple. No check necessary. If you open it up to examine it, it almost like, well, not almost. It does. It literally like casts an illusion, and you see a woman. And give me a history check.
That's a 14.
14. In Buzz's eyes, like, which of the houses in Crystalia, like, who is currently sitting on top?
I think I'm gonna go with House Uthis.
All right, so a woman clearly dressed in House Uthis colors is handing a bag of coins to the image that you saw Hannibal look like, the Thorn Mother, and it just like it's a 5-second clip, of a magically projected illusion that has clearly been ripped from someone's mind and put into this vial, because they just see the two figures meet. There's not much that can be ascertained from where this is, whether it's in Crystalia or Balaria, but it's clearly that they've met, and the woman from Crystalia is handing the Thorn Mother a bag of coins. Like, you can hear the clink of metal on metal before it resets.
Oh, and it just plays it again. Like if I stop it, unstop it.
Yep. Yeah. Like, so if you cap it, the illusion goes away. But if you pull it back out, it always starts from the beginning.
Yeah. I'm probably at some point going to get lost in just doing that over and over again. All right, and if there's nothing else, then I guess it's time to open the vials of symbiotes.
So, no roll necessary. You cast Detect Thoughts. You pop open that first symbiote vial, and it's just thinking hunger. Ravenous, need to be sated.
I know what you need, little guy. And I'll drop him on my arm.
You're just gonna dump it on you?
Yeah.
All right, so you feel this the shimmering you feel the cool liquid, far more viscous than water should be, kind of glide across your metallic skin. This blue green color symbiote kind of latches and plops down onto your arm, and it begins to latch on and seep into the metal. Obviously you're not fighting this, right?
Nope.
So you begin to feel the symbiote connecting with yourself, with your other symbiote. It doesn't appear to have the same intensity as the one that you've already connected with, but as soon as the mind seems to get pulled into yours, it like forces its way forward and is like mentally screaming, and you feel its presence to into your stomach. I don't know how long it's been since you've actually eaten, but you now feel this ravenous hunger overtake you.
That's the first. I don't eat. Now I'm hungry.
Now you are hungry.
All right, man. Does this place have room service? What kind of thoughts am I getting from the other vials?
So you open up the next vial, and it's inquisitive. It doesn't seem to know, and it feels like it's blocked by this glass. So like that's the only thought. It's thirsting for knowledge.
Yeah, I'll put that on my other arm.
So you now have two new symbiotes kind of warring for attention. I think this is going to be a wisdom save.
Okay. $19.
So you're able to kind of gain control, but like you can feel in the background that like you need to eat, and you need to acquire more knowledge. What you know is not sufficient. It's not quite to the paranoid level, but you are finding space in your mind for your tasks. A little bit difficult. Like you've got control for the moment, but this is a little bit harder.
I grab the book, the notes, and the other vial with the last symbiote, because I'm gonna dump that on me as well, and just head down to the into the common room.
So you're dumping the third vial without even knowing what it is.
Yeah.
So the third one is basically, kind of ironic that you're like heading back down towards where your allies are. I don't know if you would call them friends, but it feels like you need to seek out a connection. You need to establish almost not like a hive mind, but you need to form your colony. I guess that would probably be the best way to put it.
So I got the hungry symbiote, the want to know symbiote, and the social butterfly symbiote. So so once I hit the common room, I order some food, start absorbing food and knowledge, and I'll see if I can also strike up a conversation with someone. But let's jump to somebody else. I feel like I've been doing
Sure. All right, so who wants to do something right now?
I will slink away from everyone else because I want to find a shop.
Okay. What are you looking for?
Books.
I'm looking for books.
Yes. This is her hobby. This is how she has fun. specifically, if you can find like this world's equivalent of like a half-price books, that's probably perfect for what she's looking for in particular.
So, as you start traveling around Smoke Bend, give me a perception check.
Okay, I am trained in this. Ooh, that's pretty decent. Okay. Plus, where's my D&D Beyond? 19 total.
19. So you wind up traveling down several streets, looking around. Are you relying on, just your own eyes? You going to talk to people?
I'll talk to people if I have to.
All right. So you talk around, and you find a place called the Ink and Ash Archive.
Okay.
The proprietor looks to, it's a smaller place, and by smaller I mean run by someone on the small side. You have to kind of like bend down to get through the door, almost like Gandalf coming into the Hobbit hole.
Okay.
Inside you see someone who either is heavily flesh warped or a mixed breed of a gnome and a goblin.
Okay.
Big bushy sideburns, but like green skin, huge, bat-like ears, amber eyes. Huh?
It's definitely a noblin.
A noblin. But every single book in this place has clearly been, shall we say, well loved. Nothing in here would be what you would call pristine. Nothing. Everything in here has had some kind of damage, and a lot of it looks like it's kind of made with fire. The damage is made by fire. There's a lot of burns, a lot of scars, and when you step in, the Ink and Ash Archive, you can smell the ash.
Okay.
But the crooked smile that this Noblin offers up seems quite genuine. Well, hi.
Hello.
Is there something you're looking for?
Perusing. Looking for your used romance novels.
Well, we say everything here is used because but if you're looking for tales of a more romantic interest, he points off towards the one rack. There's a handful of books that don't seem to be quite as bad as the other side of the room.
She's looking for like the trashy penny bodice rippers.
And you can definitely find those kinds of things. It's clear that this place that's not their specialty.
Yeah. Or if I can find like what is the equivalent in this world of like an Amish romance novel, that's what I'm going for. Something that's like weird and like a little bit grainy wholesome, but like also indulgent.
I mean, you're more likely to find things that are more debaucherous than high end. But I'm certain you can find something of what you're looking for, even if it's not on point.
I will spend 5 gold on whatever I'm getting, however many that gets.
Spending 5 gold, you can buy his entire collection of smut.
Cool, I will.
So,
and it all goes in the bag of holding for later.
Feel free to put 20 bizarre smut books on your on your roster.
Cool. Love it. That's it. She's doing that, and then otherwise she's just kind of getting a feel for the town, you know? Like, she's new here, trying to get a lay of the land.
So you see, especially around Smoke Bend, like this is not a great neighborhood. There are a lot of downtrodden. It seems that a lot of folk here, like when they have spare coin, it is either spent in drugs, alcohol, or flesh warping. There are definitely more people who are doing flesh warping, than construct parts. Not a lot of varging out here.
So, knowing that, I think that she will just kind of like get a vibe for what people think of the ruling class here, specifically.
It's pretty much, what you would expect. Anytime you've got the downtrodden, the rulers are considered to be so far above them that they can't have a positive opinion because the rulers can't possibly know what they put up with. They can't possibly know how harsh life is. They live in the spires that look down upon everyone from moment one. Like they are literally above everyone else, physically and metaphysically, or metaphorically. Whereas the common folk are literally built structures that are ramshackle and in constant need of repair. The pristine spires that literally hang down from the spire is where anyone of note or importance live. They don't have to deal with the rabble in any way, shape, or form unless they choose to do so. And when they do, it's like, oh look, they're coming down on from high to mingle with the commoners until they quickly head back up to their lofty towers.
Of course, that's how it is here. And she'll just kind of like, as she's leaving the last person she speaks with, she just sort of mutters to herself, why did I think it would be any different here? Or anywhere else, for that matter. And she'll return to the inn.
That's you pretty much you get that that hard line that everybody seems to know, and when you're like, why did I expect it to be anywhere different? They just kind of shrug and can continue on.
Yeah. And she goes back to the inn. She would have invited Rill and Hannibal at some point to join her on any of her escapades if they wanted, but...
Well, Hannibal has something else he's doing.
Okay.
So, like,
what does Hannibal want to do?
When I get that invite from Doris, like, hey, let's come on and do this thing. I'm just like, books. I'm more of a man of the people. And when they eventually leave, I take my way out. But in the guise of Sebastian, the old man with the black cloak. So I'm using disguise self to doing that, and my point of doing this is to get a little bit more information about the Thorn Mother. Maybe go to unsavory parts of town. Talk to whoever I feel like might be able to just casually drop hints of a person of vampiric like nature, purpley skin. Like, wouldn't that be crazy? Oh, I know, right? And like as I walk away, I conversations here and there. I use my mirror to see if anyone's following me, to see if I sparked a reaction from anyone that might, just to try to get me a lead on anything, you
Sure.
know.
So give me two things. Give me a persuasion check and an investigation check.
Well, my good sir, persuasion is going to be a 19.
Okay.
And investigation, you said, right?
Yep.
Well, we're ending towards the end of this session, so I'm going to use my inspiration now. It seems a good
Okay.
time as any to use it.
Sure.
All right, I'm happy I did. That's a 17.
17. All right. So you're not really finding anyone that like is reacting super like overt when you're mentioning this purple skin woman and what have you. But like you're definitely making a connection in building the camaraderie. You do get one person who kind of gives you a weird look when like you mentioned something about like a purple skinned woman, and they quickly make an excuse and like find themselves needing to be elsewhere.
I go like, obviously I'm not being like, hey, what's up, buddy? But I will follow as discreetly as possible.
I mean, he heads off to a poorer section and heads into a domicile, a house, if you want to call it that.
Okay. This seems pertinent, even though I am the sky self, and that does not require concentration, so I will enhance ability myself.
Okay.
I feel like perception might be pertinent to figure out what's going in there without actually being in there. I try to hear in as best as I can if any sort of like things are happening in there,
Okay, go ahead and roll perception.
Alrighty. Well, I'm very happy I did that because my brothers are literally one was a 1 and the other one is like an 18 on the die plus 2, dirty 20.
All right. So you kind of like get up, sneak up close to the building, and like the only way you're gonna hear something is like if you get like underneath the window and like kind of put your head right there. So you hear in common, like, dude, someone was asking questions about the Thorn Mother. I was like, dude, don't talk about that here. We need to go elsewhere.
I'm assuming I have a brief moment before anything goofy's happening. Screw it. I have a few spell slots left, and I think we're gonna long rest eventually.
Okay.
I'll use a 2nd level spell slot to invoke the Sky Self again.
Okay.
Screw it. Let's alter ego to Jermaine.
Okay.
The young man, bearded, furs, green clothing, and he's just like, he looks like he's So while I'm in the area, I'm just kind of like, just being casual about it, acting like I'm waiting for somebody.
Uh-huh.
Waiting for like,
so
yeah.
A minute or so later, not the figure that you saw, but somebody else comes, out through the front door, kind of looks left, kind of looks right, and begins walking away from the house.
Did I
You follow?
catch? Yeah. Mm, I
Uh,
follow.
he begins winding his way, through different alleyways, uh, walking with a purpose. Are you going to follow at the same speed? Are you going to kind of still keep a shambling walk? What are you looking to do?
I'm gonna keep pace. Yeah.
All right.
No Gus, no
Give me a
glory, right?
stealth check at disadvantage.
All right. Oh yes. Okay, I didn't roll hot garbage. I wrote 11. I wrote a 17 and 11, but I'm plus 7,
Okay.
so 18, baby.
Nice. So you managed to follow, and there are a couple of times that he stops and it kind of gives a listen, but keeps going, unbeknownst to yourself. Back at the house, a few minutes after you have departed ways, the other person, comes out, looks left, looks right, walks in another direction. The person you're following eventually slips, down into the layer beneath. 'Cause there's the undercity. You follow the other person, gets down into the undercity through a different means. You continue your heated pursuit under the guise of Germain until the two of them, rejoin. It gives a accurate description of what your alter ego looked like, and describes, in vivid detail what you were wearing, the questions you were asking, wondering why this person could be, after the Thorn Mother. Is she safe? What do we need to do to protect her? We can't have, this operation fall apart now. Things are moving along too well. Do you know Thieves Camp?
I know I can't. Thieves can't.
All right, so you can't. So there's a little bit of, even in a place like this, where what was completely specific information winds up changing into a generic conversation about a grocery list, and the different types of routes that are needed. And the other person's like, all right, understood. And they begin, moving off yet again in separate directions.
I feel like I got what I needed. I don't want to test my luck that much, especially
Sure.
when I'm running low on spell slots. So
So you guys make your way back to the rusted chalice to eventually reconvene. As the night tarries on, unbeknownst to the lot of you, the air and smoke bend is thicker tonight. A syrup of smoke, ash, and fear. Everything seems to go silent. The alleys are empty. Only the hiss of alchemical gear and the rhythmic clank of boots on metal break the stillness. Riven Soltors enforcers move like a machine, precise, merciless, faceless. Their armor gleams with mirrored Balarian plating, each step kicking up embers from the torch lights they carry. Tubes hiss as their backs, feeding them stimulants to keep pace with the chaos that rides in Balaria's underbelly. At their head strides Overseer Draxon, Soltor's personal executioner, his mechanical arm tinkling faintly as he signals the breach. By the Archmage's decree, he says, voice distorted through a rebreather. No more flowers in the dark. The Gilded Blossom's lair groans as charges ignite. Rusted gates tear free, glass shattering like screams. Smoke and violet light flooding the street as the enforcers pour in. Inside the bloom is chaos made flesh. Gleam smoke pours from shattered pipes. Dreamleech vials burst, spilling violent light that writhes like living fog. Addicts and whisperers scatter through the haze, some reaching for weapons, others for the next fix. Turquoise, violet, and crimson. The air is thick with perfume and poison. One enforcer tears open a silken curtain, only to find empty cushions where the Thorn Mother's throne once stood. The throne of rust and bone lies cold, its vines severed, its syringes dripping dry. She's gone, mutters a voice through the static. No body, no sign. She knew we were coming. The order goes out. Burn it all. They set fire to the Dreamleech vaults. Memory vials crack and shriek as their contents escape. Laughter, screams, the sound of music, the scent of childhood. 1,000 stolen moments dissolving into the smoke. The bloom burns bright and terrible. The dome above flickers with its light. When the smoke clears, all that remains is ash, twisted glass, and the faint perfume of sweet decay. And yet, in the distance, somewhere beneath the dome, a door creaks open. A whisper cries through the soot-choked air. A familiar lullaby sung in a cracked voice. My children don't suffer. I keep them safe inside the bloom. The enforcers don't hear it, but Balaria does. The Gilded Blossom isn't dead, merely pruned, and in this city, what is cut down always grows back. So, thanks for joining us for yet another Under the Dome Balaria game. We'll be back next week for a next episode to see how this all unfolds. So, thanks for joining us. Check out those links down in the description. You can always follow more Under the Dome content over every Monday on the website, nerdarchy.com. So until next time,
Stay nerdy.